So to this date, the most common question that I get is, what rotation do you use, or how do I know what spell to use? And the answer is, we don't really have a rotation. It's more of a priority system. Even in PvE, it's that way. But the difference between PvP and PvE is that it's more situational in PvP. For example, especially you can look at cooldowns. In PvE, if Demon Soul or something like that came off cooldown, you would want to use it right away. But in PvP, you have to wait for the right moment. Maybe there's only one target to dot up. Maybe you don't need the extra damage right now, or anything like that. So what I have here in the middle of my screen is everything that relates to damage. So I also listed it by priority. So if you're 100% free casting, this is the priority that I suggest. I suggest you put UA up, then Corruption, then BOA, then Haunt, then Shadow Flame if it's okay to get in melee range, then Shadow Bolt only if you have an instant proc, and then these two spells are used as your fillers, but I prefer Fell Flame in the majority of the situations. Drain Life is a decent filler when you need health, like if you're not at full health and you need health, or you want to reset Corruption because say you can't Haunt for some reason, say you have Haunt on a different target, you can use Drain Life to reset Corruption on a different target. And Life Tap, relates damage because you need mana to cast spells, but you need to Life Tap at a smart time. You should Life Tap if you're, like, say, out of range of everybody else, but still in combat. So it's a good opportunity to Life Tap then. These three spells down here, they're more cooldowns, I'd say. But they relate to damage. That's why I'm talking about them. Demon Soul, it's your main cooldown. Soul Swap, doubles your dot pressure. And Fell Hunter, yeah, it's not really, it's something that you always are going to have out, but I listed it because overall it's going to do about a quarter of your damage. So it's pretty important. So here's where it gets a little more complicated. On the top row, I have everything that you would cast, like that has a casting time. On the bottom row is everything that's instant. So your priority system is going to change a little bit, whether or not you can free cast. And when I mean free cast is when I mean, nobody's on you, or if somebody's on you and their interrupt is on cooldown. So, for example, if I were free casting, I would want to cast UA and then Haunt, and I put a space here because I don't want to go straight to Drain Life. I would actually want to go down to my instant spells that are what I consider more important than Drain Life, Corruption and Bane of Agni. So I'd want to have these four spells off before I even think about anything over here. Now it also works in the opposite way though too. So say somebody is on me, say I can't free cast. I would want to put up my instant spells, Corruption and Bane of Agni, before my casted spells over here. But the difference now is after I put up Corruption and Bane of Agni, it's usually worth it to put UA up on your target and Haunt before thinking about Shadow Flame or Fell Flame or anything like that. So just a couple more points that I want to make. If you've played an Affliction lock, in PvP you've probably noticed that our single target damage isn't the best, and that's because a lot of our damage comes from our pet, and that's reliant on him not getting CC'd and feared and Nova'd and things like that. And the other reason is we can't really stack Shadow Embrace that easily in PvP because you need that to hardcast a lot to do that, and that's not really viable. And there's one more reason, like we don't really use our filler spell. Like you don't really chain cast Shadow Bolt or Drain Life in PvP after you have all your dots up. So the best way to actually do damage, and I can't stress this enough, is to spread dots around on multiple targets, 2, 3, even 4 targets at a time. Try to have UA, Corruption, and Bane of Agony up. that'll do a ton more pressure than spam fearing or anything like that, or spam fearing and having as much single target pressure on a target you can. There is a place though for single target damage, and it's good on swaps. It's good on if a target's low. But for the most part, to do damage, to do pressure, keep up your dots on as many targets as you can. So the last little thing I want to go over is to use Fellflame more, and that's something that's improved my game a lot in the last few months. And I got it from watching top Warlocks stream like Philovirus and Azael, and I was watching them. So I've incorporated a lot of this into my game. So Fellflame obviously increases the UA duration by 6 seconds, and that's good because you can stay moving more often, and that means you're taking less damage, because you're kiting more, and also you're not getting interrupted as much because it's an instant spell. So it's good that way, even though it's less damage per cast time than casting Drain Life or Shadow Bolt as your filler. The other thing about Fellflame, and this is something that I kind of do just now all the time, is you can use it to bait and interrupt. So what I mean by that is, say UA has like 3 seconds on your target, and with 4.2, you can now use Fellflame when you're interrupted or your Shadow School is locked out. So if UA has like 3 seconds left, and I want to use Fellflame anyway, what I'll do is maybe I'll cast like a Haunt or a Fear or something like that on my target, purposely get kicked, and then I'll cast Fellflame like 2 or 3 times, and then UA is going to refresh to full duration pretty much with those Fellflames, and then after I Fellflame, then my Shadow School interrupt lockout will be over, and then I can just free cast for another 7 seconds. So that's basically everything I wanted to talk about rotation and spell usage. But if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. So you can leave a comment or look for me in game, or even my YouTube inbox is the best way to reach me. Alright, thanks for watching.